Bithika. This feels really good.
It does. Thank you, Glenn.
You bet.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to US Ignite. So on behalf of Extreme Networks, I'm here today to announce Extreme's SDN Innovation Challenge. And just with anything else, before I get into the what and the how, I really want to talk about the why. And Glenn actually has a huge role to play in that because he got me really excited and passionate about applications, right? The world of applications, next generation applications. So I want to just, for you guys to step back for a little bit and think about or imagine a world where efficacy of healthcare treatments are better and healthcare costs are lower because we are able to derive real-world evidence in near real time using big medical data. I want you to imagine a world where education is affordable and accessible to every kid in rural Tennessee, where a student is able to pull resources into their dumb terminal from a local education cloud. And I know that there are some folks at US Ignite who have actually implemented some technologies like this. I also want you to imagine a world where a cardiac surgeon is able to establish early treatment plans for an elderly patient who just have had a massive cardiac arrest and he's unable to travel. And he does that by doing a high-definition video call with the patient without actually the patient having to travel to the place where the doctor is. As a matter of fact, that elderly person was my own dad as of 2 months ago, and when I spoke with the cardiologist, that's exactly what he said. The telemedicine is a perfect use case for heart patients, right? I would have loved to enable technologies like this, and that's where I think some of this passion comes from for how do we really enable our infrastructure to support some of these next generation applications. So what do we really need from our networks, right? So we need a big data network that really takes your mapper and your reducer and creates a high throughput link when and where needed, or a shortest path link when and where needed. And the goal, the objective really is to take the data from the mapper to the reducer as quickly through the shuffle phase as possible so the network is not in the critical path. And we are doing those real-time analytics to enable some of those next generation applications in healthcare, right? We need a cloud connectivity network where when a student has checked out a piece of software in the cloud, the network automatically establishes a high latency link for the duration of the time that the software is being checked out in the cloud. And there is the Kansas City public lending library that did a fantastic job of implementing technologies like this. Right? We also need a service provider network that's able to proactively set up a high bandwidth path end-to-end before a high definition call is set up and strips it away after the call is done. So we really need networks that are discerning, that are intelligent, and highly programmable. You've heard a lot about that in Larry's talk earlier. Programmability is just so critical and important, so our network is not really just a dumb fat pipe, but it's able to do much more than that with the existing infrastructure that we have. So with SDN, I think there are a lot of promising protocols, architectures, technologies that are sort of coming together to deliver on some of those next generation applications, right? But I think what we, and by we, not just we as a company, but I think the networking industry in general needs is not just those set of protocols and technologies, but really a platform that brings it all together in an open and standards-based way, right? And what really is a platform, right? A platform is not just a network element. It's not about the network element, white box versus black box, vendor X's box versus vendor Y's box. A platform is also not about the protocols. It could be OpenFlow, it could be OVSDB, NetConf, a CLI plugin that really talks the language that your network element understands, right? And a platform is not about the controller either. You could have a commercial controller from NSX or Big Switch, or you could have an SDN, open source SDN controller like Open Daylight. But what really our platform is about is creating those platform APIs and abstractions on top of it so you, the developer community, can access and consume those APIs to create those next generation of applications. So at Extreme, we recently announced our membership with Open Daylight, and we're sort of building our SDN vision and strategy around this philosophy as to how do we bring the open source community and the developer community together to create this platform. So some of the folks in the audience got a chance to attend our workshop that we did day before yesterday in the afternoon session, where we demoed and we talked to you about our early access SDN platform. In fact, the hardware is sitting somewhere right there, where we really showed you the SDN controller, which is a hardened SDN controller based on Open Daylight. Also included in that kit was our wireless controller, as well as our network access control and the network management system, and all of this together in a platform fashion. We're managing our switching portfolio, both from the wireless as well as the wired infrastructure, right? And you also learned about the platform APIs, the APIs that this platform exposed, that's used by the Open Daylight community to contribute applications such as virtual tenant network and Affinity. You also learn about APIs that we actually use to write Hello World apps and some other additional apps that uses our wireless capability. And you also learn about applications that use those APIs, and those were contributed by some local universities, just to give you a sense of how quick it was and easy it was to sort of get started on this platform, right? And by the way, those of you who didn't get a chance to attend the workshop, the video was captured and will be up on the website shortly. So this is what we have available today, and this is what is available for the developer community to use and access those APIs. And what we really need from you is it's a platform. Platform is a completely new concept, really, I think, in the networking industry. We have platforms that sort of exist for the smartphone industry or for the PC industry, but how do we really create it for the network? And that's why we want to engage the developer community early on, because we really want you to access those APIs and tell us, how do we really shape this platform? What are the APIs that we expose and we create on top of this platform to support those next generation of applications? That's really how a platform is going to be more useful, right, to be able to address those next generation of infrastructure challenges. So to that effect, I'm here today to announce, in collaboration and partnership with US Ignite, a program that we are running. It's the Extreme SDN Innovation Challenge, where we are calling out all developers to come together and write applications on top of that platform, early access platform that you learned about at the workshop. The program starts on September 10th, where we make the announcement and we sort of start taking ideas, and really looking forward to a lot of fantastic and great ideas. And you'll actually get an opportunity to pitch those ideas in front of a panel of luminaries, both from industry, academia, and as well as the government. We would be sort of selecting a set of few finalists from that initial phase and taking them to the next phase, which really is the more interesting phase, where we will ship the demo kit that would be needed for you to implement your idea, and it also pair you up with a technology advisor from Extreme Networks that would very closely work with you for the next 3 to 4 months for you to actually implement your idea. And in fact, this challenge, this program would terminate next year around the same time at the US Ignite Application Summit, where the winners would be announced and awarded at next year's Application Summit, right? So there is a little bit of money. And so we have a grand prize of $5K, followed by $3K for a first runner-up and $2K for a second runner-up. And what we really want to do with this, we are obviously integrated and working with the Open Daylight community that's building out the controller, and we're contributing code to them as well. But we really want the help and the support of this community of developers to think about, dream big, and think about what are those applications that you can create on top of this platform. And we really want to create that network app store in the sense of a platform that enables this sort of crowdsourced innovation that comes from you or anyone else who had that great idea and now has the infrastructure to actually make that possible, right? So we really invite you to engage in the shaping of this platform for crowdsourced innovation from a networking industry. Right? So with that, I'd like to end with a call to action. There are a few business cards on your tables that has a link to the website, to the SDN Innovation Challenge website. Please go to the website and register today so you're notified when we launch the challenge. And with any questions you have, email us. Please spread the word, #SDN Innovate. So with that, I'm at the end of the talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.